Hello to our wonderful listeners. It's Emileigh here. We are doing something a little different this week because we've had some life events happen and we did not get to record an episode. Don't worry, everything is fine, but life happens sometimes. So we didn't want to leave you guys with nothing this week, so we are going to let y'all listen to one of our bonus episodes for free. There's a ton more like it on Patreon. Y'all know where to go if you want to get more. So we hope you enjoy it. And we will be back next Thursday with our normal episodes. We promise. Life was just life in this week. Okay, bye.
Welcome to
Ill-Equipped History.
Bonus
episode.
Bonus.
Bonus. This is like shot. Bonus.
We just did shot.
We did. If y'all saw the 7,000 video, if that's up yet, we just took that shot. So if we're feeling a little loosey-goosey, it's the alcohol that we don't actually drink that often anymore.
Right. Yeah, especially since my new medicine, I rarely drink at all now. And
yeah.
Like half a shot has me like, whoa.
Could we lie and just put water in it? Yes. But we're not about that.
We ain't liars.
No. My mama didn't raise no bitch. So
I've been told the stories of the cough cures.
oh, yeah, that was... Listen, I was 13, and I just wanted to go sledding with my brother. My mom's cough cure very well could have been Jim Beam Black. It worked. So, whatever. Don't call the authorities.
She's a mostly functioning adult nowadays.
Mostly. Yeah, mostly. Well, you know what? How are you, Morgan?
I am melting. So, disclaimer to our listeners for this monthly bonus episode. You will probably be hearing a constant, pretty loud hum in my audio. And I just want to say, I'm sorry. My AC has been broken for 3 weeks. It is currently 82 degrees in my house right now, and I have a fan blowing on me to keep me alive for the duration of this video. So, yeah. And I'm already, like, I'm glad you guys can't see me right now because I'm starting to glisten, like crazy.
It's just, you know, it's a good dewy glow, we'll call it.
Uh-huh. I look moisturized. That's the look.
Your skin is so healthy.
I actually, one of my really good friends has amazing skin, and there was one day she came in and she had like that dewy look, and I said, "Oh my god, your skin looks amazing," and she was like, "I'm really sweaty, thank you." I was like, "Well, you look incredible."
Oh my god, how are you so pretty? White. I start looking like Gollum when I sweat, like, ugh.
I know. I get all like
so
red-faced, and
yeah.
I haven't been sleeping. Like, I've literally been tossing and turning. I had a nightmare the other night, which is my first nightmare in like 2 months.
I've had some fucked nightmares because my brain, you know how my brain is.
Yeah.
I had one that, this one's so petty that, listen guys, we're fine. My brain is just weird, okay? I had a dream that Nick left me, married an older woman, and then bought my childhood home just to be petty.
That's awful.
What is that? What does that mean?
I've actually noticed since starting my new medicine, my nightmares have really decreased.
Really?
Yeah. Like, not that I had a whole lot before, but like I would have a lot of stressful dreams. And I really don't even remember my dreams. So I think it's the vividity has decreased because Emileigh knows I have crazy vivid dreams. Some of them have been strange.
Yeah, we both have. Are we okay?
No.
I had a dream the other night that there was a bear in my car, and then the next day my car broke. Premonition. Do you
was
want to hear
there a
about
bear
it?
in your car? Yes.
Well, it was a bear
hear.
to get it home. Okay. So, okay. My Jeep, bless its heart, the belt has been squeaking like a motherfucker for like, I don't know, a month to 6 weeks. That's my fault. I should have addressed it sooner. And I told Nick he bought a new belt, put the belt on it. Everything was fine. Well, the next day, it was thumping, and it literally sounded like a dude was in my engine playing the drums. So I sent a video to Nick, and he was like, I think the belt's a little too loose. Just go home. And I did. I went straight home. That night, he was pulling it into the driveway or into the garage to tighten it up and fix it, and it literally slung off. So one, I'm really glad I went straight home that day. He fixed it. All is well. So the next day, Monday, I got in my Jeep, was like, we're good to go. Everything's great. I make it out of my neighborhood and get maybe a half a mile down the road. And I'm talking to our dear friend Sarah on the phone. And I'm regaling her the story about my belt. And then I start hearing a slapping noise under my engine, in my engine. And I was like, there's no way the belt broke while I was talking shit about the belt. So I pulled into the grass in front of like a manufacturing facility that's down the road from my house. And I opened the hood, and I'll be damned, it was like stripping. Like,
oh my
part
God.
of it was wrapped around, it turns out part of it was like wrapped around the fan, and there was like a piece of it sticking up. It was still on there. And I ended up having to, I did call Nick to ask, but I ended up cutting it with a pair of scissors. And Nick was like, just try to get it home. You're not that far. Like, try. So I'm like, okay. In the meantime, I call Lou, who I know goes grocery shopping at the same place as I do. So I'm like, hey, what are you doing? And she's like, I'm almost to Aldi. And I was like, cool. That's where I was trying to go. Could you come get me so I can have groceries tonight? So she is on her way to come get me. I turn around and start going back home, and I'm talking to her on the phone just for sanity's sake. And I'm like, cool, everything's good. The oil pressure's good. This ain't my first rodeo, y'all. Oil pressure's good. Everything's looking good. It's sounding okay. I'm not hearing the slapping noise. And then all of a sudden, I hear a ding as I'm turning into like the road. I do get within my neighborhood. I hear a ding. I see the temperature gauge go all the way up. I whip it into someone's freaking side yard and shut the bitch off. There's steam coming out the freaking front of it. The belt had cut the radiator hose. There's a trail of water behind me. People are like stopping, and I'm just like, I just wanted some food for tonight. So we had to leave my Jeep with a note that's, I explained it. I left my number. I was like, we're coming after dinner, or after we get off work. We'll be back for it. Lou takes me to run my errands and then takes me back home. And I'm just like at the house, and we had to pull it up the hill, the giant massive hill, with our truck, just in neutral. And it's, now out of commission. And I'm stuck with the truck for right now.
That is quite the ordeal, and I'm so sorry.
What are the chances the belt would break while I'm talking shit about the belt?
It heard you. That's exactly
it. It heard me.
You bitch, you're shit talking me. How about you don't have a car anymore?
How about fuck you? And apparently it got the harmonic balancer. I think that's a term. I don't know. I just like, honey, I don't know what that is. And it sounds like we're at an orchestra now. So could you just fix it and make it run again, please?
Lord.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a pretty dramatic way to go.
That's the only way my vehicles break. It's always something stupid.
Man, that reminds me. I've got to take my car to a mechanic because yesterday morning my check engine light came on. So Sunday. The first thing I did was go get more oil change because I was like 1,000 miles over, so I got that done. Right. But the check engine light is still on, and I'm like, okay, nothing sounds different. My car is driving fine. Like, I don't sense anything going on in the transmission. My temperature is good. My RPMs are good. I just got my oil change. What is it? What's wrong with my engine?
Honestly, I don't think I've driven a car consistently that didn't have the check engine light on at all the time. It's just the truck. The truck is the only thing.
Because you guys didn't get the truck out of the scrap heap and rebuild it.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah. My first Jeep, my dad bought for $300 and had plans of using it as a parts Jeep, but then realized that it just needed a starter and it ran. And he was like, here you go. I literally, if you think about it technically, I got a flat tire. I had to get all 4 new tires on that Jeep. It cost more than the vehicle, than what we bought it for. Mm-hmm. I got a flat tire and I totaled the Jeep. Technically. That was like 3 Jeeps ago, but.
Are you talking about the Nugget?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a special Jeep for sure.
You don't drive the Nugget, you survive the Nugget. It had no airbags. The steering wheel moved up and down. I think like half the seatbelts were either missing or just didn't click into the things. I do know at least the front
seatbelts
worked. I cannot confirm about the back seatbelts. Not that anyone used them.
And Emileigh was the first one of our friend group to get a car. So whenever we wanted to go do teenage shenanigans, Emileigh was the driver and the death trap was our vehicle.
Yes.
To go from place to place.
Yes. I remember going to Applebee's so many times with just band kids in the hatch.
Like 10 of us.
Down.
Crammed in the back
in this fucking 1989 Jeep Cherokee.
My mom was always so stressed whenever we went somewhere. She was like, Jesus, take the wheel every time I got in your car.
I put that thing in so many ditches. There was one day I almost flipped it. I was on a gravel road. I took a turn too fast. I will say that was my fault. I was like 16. Everyone's bad at 16, okay? I got way better. Yeah. So I had to pick. It was going in a ditch somewhere, and I had to pick the side that had a pond or a ditch of questionable depth. So I picked the ditch with questionable depth. And the questionable depth was deeper than anticipated. The whole thing almost flipped, but it did miraculously land back on all fours. I got out. I looked around. Nothing was leaking. Backed the bitch up. Went home. Didn't tell anyone. I did have a friend with me, so we are no longer friends. But we kept
it was
that
the
one
secret.
to ourselves. Yeah, we kept that to ourselves.
Oh man!
Sometimes there's glory in no airbags. I mean, you do take a bit of a hit, but it's okay.
Emileigh survived that a bunch of times.
And I wonder why. I literally wonder why my body is the way it is. Guys, get a vehicle with airbags.
Oh, man. Well, I think all of this car talk goes perfectly into our bonus episode.
Yes.
For today.
It does. So we should definitely get into it. Okay, so I guess I'm going to start off.
Yes.
All right. Listen, not all of these stories are going to be this long. But I did find a good amount of information. And I did cut it down from the article that I found. Apparently there's a book out there. I don't really know. You can look into it. But there's a lot of tea that, like, gets dropped in this.
I love
so
a little tea.
I love a little tea. I was like,
yes.
Ooh, spill it. Okay.
Drop the hot goss, okay?
Yeah. So we're talking about the Dymaxion. So in 1928, a dude named Richard Buckminster Fuller was 32. He went by Bucky.
Okay.
Bucky. So, he was trying to raise money to build prefab houses, on like an industrial scale, but he just kind of had all these crazy ideas about technology and design. I would love to get into him as a person. Just know he was kind of an eccentric guy.
Okay.
He might end up being, I don't know, maybe a future episode, but like, just know he was a very creative mind. And he read a book called Towards a New Architecture by a Swiss-French architectural theorist, Le Corbusier. If I said that wrong, so sorry. Kind of became one of his role models. But within this book, he saw the concept of the streamlined car with an ovid frame. So I do have a picture down at the bottom if you want to look at this car, Morgan.
Okay.
So in the early concepts, sketches, he called it the 4D transport. And he took that ovid shape, so kind of like a teardrop shape. Think of a teardrop camper pretty much, but longer. And 2 wheels on the front, 1 wheel on the back, very triangulated kind of framework. But in these sketches, the steering was in the rear, kind of like a boat. And it came with inflatable wings. He wanted it to be a car plane.
With inflatable wings?
With inflatable wings. So I guess his original like design, and this is just sketches, okay? He wanted it to be that car, that teardrop shaped car, but with inflatable wings so they could fly it too.
I mean, it's only like 20 years after the invention of the plane, period. So it makes sense where like he wouldn't understand that you can't just have inflatable wings to fly a metal object.
Right. That doesn't work. So the following year, so in 1929, Fuller was approached by an acquaintance, and her name was Nanny Biddle, who offered to fund this prototype. And she was 32 years old and was like a Philadelphia socialite. Okay. Rich lady.
Okay.
And obviously he said, since the flying version was kind of out of the budget, he focused on, quote, ground taxiing phase. I think it's funny. Throughout this whole thing, he really stuck with it, thinking of it as like, will be a plane in the future.
Okay.
His daughter, Allegra, called it the Zoomobile. I don't know why.
Like Zoom Mobile or Zoom?
I think Zoom Mobile. Zoom Mobile.
Okay.
Zoom.
Because it goes
also,
zoom.
Also, her name is Allegra, and all I think about is, like, allergy medicine.
It is. It is, I think, a traditional Italian name, though.
Okay.
I don't think he was Italian, but it is, like, a legitimate, like,
I'm sure
name.
it is. Could you imagine being named Allegra, and then they come out with the medicine, and it's like...
I know.
Damn. Okay. So, Biddle gave them $1,000 in advance, and in February of 1933, they started developing it. So he recruited a guy named Starling Burgess. These names are great.
These are crazy names.
These are crazy names. And he was a famed yacht and aircraft designer who was bankrupt after several failed marriages.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Yeah. So he was the first employee of what would become the 4D Dymaxion Corporation. Dymaxion is just kind of a name that he slapped on a lot of his inventions. So they bought a Ford Tudor and just kind of took all the working parts off of this vehicle. And Burgess estimated they needed another $1,500, which Biddle did give them. Bucky was very stressed about, I guess, the money situation. And apparently he dealt with the pressure of this money situation by drinking and eating cake at a boarding house with his coworkers.
That's quite a mood.
It's a mood. It's a mood. Apparently his wife was mad because he was like drunk and gaining weight, and she's like, what the fuck is happening?
So he was drinking and eating a lot. Like, eating a lot of cake. To the point where he was like visibly gaining weight. Oh, poor thing.
I know. So, by the following April, they had tests, and it revealed that the single rear wheel was a problem because it caused the car to lean into corners while the front remained, correct. And at high speeds, it had a death wobble.
Oh, that's not good.
No,
we don't want a death wobble.
No. Listen, Jeeps are notorious for getting death wobble. The only fix for a death wobble when you're in one is to slow the fuck down and get your tires back in, sync or whatever. But they did fix it. And actually, Fuller was so confident, he actually let his daughter, ride in one of the prototypes. So, as they go on, they still haven't made, the full car. But he did eventually get another $5,000 from Biddle. And remember, guys, this is the early 30s. This is a lot of money.
Yeah.
And he was growing his staff. Within this, I cut out so much. They moved locations to get more space, better equipment. One of the plants that they were trying to build it in just kept flooding, which is a weird problem to have.
Yeah.
But they eventually grew their staff to about 17. So they've got about 17 people working on this one car.
Wow.
And this included a, quote, Polish sheet metal expert, Italian machine toolman, Scandinavian woods craftsman, and former Rolls-Royce coachmakers. So very skilled craftsmen.
Mm-hmm.
These people knew what they were doing. So at this point, they still haven't had a car put out yet. And Bucky is already making these crazy claims. And he even told one contact, I guess he's talking to, I don't know, the press or colleagues or other people, that The prototype had been driven 100,000 miles already, and then 100 cars were being built. Quote, most of which had been sold at $2,500, and that the price would fall to $200 as production rose. Only one car was actually being assembled at the time, and it had not driven 100,000 miles. They had not sold cars for $2,500. The one car that was being produced very slowly. But they did get it done.
Okay.
And they finally unveiled it on July 21st of 1933. So it was 19 feet in length, weighed about 2,700 pounds.
Oh my God.
And it cost $8,000. In comparison, the 1932 Ford V8 Model 18 was 14 feet in length, weighed 2,200 pounds, and retailed for less than $700.
I'm looking up how much $8,000 is in 1932. And I already had the site pulled up for one of my episodes. So
look at you.
So I thought I'd... Oh my God. $8,000 in 1932 is worth $186,743.
I'm sorry, what?
That's like more than a Ferrari, right? Like Ferraris are like 150 or something like that. Am I crazy?
That is insanity. No, I mean, okay, how much is a Ferrari?
Like, I feel like
a Ferrari is between 200 and 400,000. But
okay.
I mean, but still,
like, this is like luxury, like high-end luxury expensive. In 1932, this is right after World War I, right after the Depression. It's
okay,
right
it's
after the Great Depression.
It's as much as a G-Wagon.
Oh my God.
What the hell? Okay, so for y'all who are not looking at a picture of it right now, let me regale you what this thing is. Imagine a slick metal body of lacquered aluminum that was built over a wooden frame, had a canvas roof with like light holes drilled into the chassis. I mean, it looks like an Airstream. It had the Ford transmission they put in it was reversed because the engine was in the back. It had 3 wheels, 2 in the front, 1 in the back. It's steered by its rear wheel using like cables. I don't know if it had like a steering wheel because all they said was cables. And it could turn in a circle pretty much a 0 turn, whatever. Yeah. This one's really cool. The interior was cooled by dry ice, and it had one single headlamp. So I'm assuming that's a headlight, and a crush zone.
Like a crumple zone?
Yeah, I think so. Made of balsa wood. Like that was gonna do anything.
I mean, that'll crumple. Or crush.
Crumple. Balsa wood is what we made our shop class bridge experiments out of.
It's extremely light and soft.
Yeah. So it had a wraparound windshield that did not have windshield wipers because they thought that the curvature would just make the rain go away.
This thing looks insane. Like, I've been looking at it since you've been talking about it. It looks like a blimp.
Yeah. Yeah.
This thing looks crazy.
It is insanity. And also Bucky Fuller said that it was the first streamlined automobile, which is just untrue.
Mm-hmm.
Chrysler and Alfa Romeo both had their own versions, and there was an existing German patent already granted in Germany before this. Well. And let me tell you what was wrong with the car. So according to Fuller, the car would be able to achieve 40 miles to the gallon and 120 miles an hour.
I would not want to go that fast in this thing.
Absolutely not. They got this thing up to 90 miles an hour, which is a hard fucking pass for me.
Isn't that when it got to the death wobble?
Probably.
Oh, God.
Probably. And they claimed that this car was stable enough to drive across fields and railroad crossings. It had a bit of a handling problem. I don't know if you gathered that.
From the cables?
Yeah, so it was very...
Pieces of string?
It was very low geared, which made it very hard to steer, and the suspension was really long.
Was it made out of rubber band?
Probably. It's one of those airplanes you get at Cracker Barrel that you twist with the rubber band. So, listen, the suspension was so long, and the weight of it was in the rear, so when you went to turn, like, it led to, like, a twisting effect when you turned. And turning was difficult. It, later, someone said later that it was plagued, even on smooth surfaces, by, quote, uneasy oscillating swivels. On smooth surfaces. So I'm just imagining it's just...
fishtailing constantly.
Yeah. Even worse, at those high speeds, forget the death wobble, because they apparently fixed that, the back end would just come off the road.
So he was onto something about, like, creating a plane.
Maybe he could have trying those to wings.
Achieve, maybe not inflatable wings, but maybe if he had some, like, wings that could support the weight, maybe he could have had a little flying device.
He might have. Honestly, he said once that he wouldn't let anybody else drive it because he basically had to fly it down the road. And I was like, dude, so you're acknowledging that there's a problem? Wow. And it's because in his original plans, that was a rudder. And that he had proposed that when the back end picks up, you steer it on the road with the rudder. But it just made it a really bad car.
So it's like the fuselage of a plane without the wings and the tail and the rudder and all of that. It's basically the fuselage. That's it.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like. With a canvas top.
He did, in October, patent the vehicle and made the 3 wheels like a 4-wheel option to fix, the back end. Okay. But he really didn't want to do that because the company was already going under. I don't know if you kind of might have picked up on that. And also, in the background of all of this, let's spill a little bit of tea here.
Yes,
so remember Burgess? Yes, so remember Burgess. He was notoriously spending more time developing the yachts, right?
Okay.
And then there was Miss Biddle, who was Miss Moneybags, right?
Mm-hmm.
He noticed they were spending an awful lot of time together. Biddle and Burgess, they fell in love.
Oh.
And somebody agreed to pay $5,000 for one of these cars, but Burgess was postponing the start work of the second vehicle, and Bucky was like, I don't know if I trust you guys. And while visiting Maine once, Biddle, Miss Moneybags, told Fuller's mother that Bucky was, quote, was tired out and needed someone to look after him. And then a mutual friend was saying that Biddle was spreading rumors that Bucky was going mad. So I don't know where all of this is coming from. At the same time, Burgess was acting very erratically. Apparently, he had an ulcer and had some pain with that ulcer.
Oh,
but also had an old operation of some form. And he was taking shots of morphine multiple times a day. So then, after consulting a psychiatrist, Bucky tried to put Burgess in a sanitarium.
Oh, shit.
So then Burgess and Biddle ran off to Reno, Nevada. But then there goes Moneybags.
Wow. What? This sounds like a 1980s high society drama.
Yes. Right? And guys, this was the pared down version. If you want to read the whole article, it's linked.
It's giving soap opera so hard.
Oh, yes. It's giving soap opera. It's giving we were all friends, but then two of them fell in love, and then there's backstabbing, and there's more backstabbing, and then
like Days of Our Lives on crack.
Yes, Mom's involved now for some reason. Apparently, Biddle was opening Bucky's mail when Bucky wasn't around. It was a whole thing. It was a whole thing.
That's so crazy.
Yes. Yeah, so then they ran off to Reno, Nevada, and I don't know,
eloped or maybe or
lived
just
happily ever after. I don't know. They fucked off.
Good for them, I guess.
Mm-hmm. I don't even know who to like in this story. So, actually, I kind of like Miss Moneybags, even though she kind of felt a little backstabby. But I love a good independent woman,
right?
You know. Anywho, so. Not only did all of this just kind of doom the car from the beginning, there was an accident in Chicago.
Oh no.
Where the driver was killed. In this car. So, one source from the time reported that, quote, the Dymaxion was rammed by another car. When reporters arrived at the scene, the other car, which belonged to a Chicago South Park commissioner, had been removed. It was established at the inquest that the accident was the result of a collision of two cars racing each other and weaving through traffic at 70 miles an hour.
Oh, man.
Now, that is false. Because eyewitnesses claim that the Dymaxion, I don't know exactly how, there was some, I think there was some kind of sudden evasion. I don't know what happened, but eyewitnesses claim that the Dymaxion had flipped over before the second car even hit, that the second car didn't even have a chance to stop. It was not the second car's fault. Fuller heard the news in a telegram. So he got the news. He went to Chicago.
I have a really quick question. Was this someone who had bought an additional version of the car, or is this the original car?
I don't know. I do know that they made 3 cars total. Only 3 of these. So I don't know if it was the original or if it was one of the other 2. It very well could have been one of the other 2.
Okay.
But apparently Fuller started telling the racing story apparently to make it look like the car was more stable than it was. And then even Fuller claimed that the second car actually hit the Dymaxion in the bumper, but one of the survivors in this crash said there was no such collision. Yeah. So there's a lot of like, I don't know what's true, but I do know that eyewitnesses say that the Dymaxion had already flipped by the time the second car hit. It is a tragedy either way.
Right.
But it kind of sank the reputation of the Dymaxion even more.
That makes sense.
Up until then, 1943, it was used to advertise soft drinks. And then caught fire in 1943 after being refueled. So after only 2 more cars being built, the company folded. It shut down. Fuller never really discussed the extent of the failure, even falsely claimed that he had paid back his investors, which he hadn't. So he seems like a very whimsical guy that you cannot trust completely.
Especially with financials.
Yes. His official biographies even removed Biddle completely, saying he came up with the money himself. And decades later, he still insisted that, quote, she was the most stable car in history. And only one single car, Dymaxion, survives today and is at the National Automobile Museum in Reno, Nevada. There are replicas, but that is the only original left.
Well,
this is just a shit show, isn't it?
That is a shit show. I think, unless you have more chaotic stories. I know I don't have as chaotic of stories as that one. So we've gotten the craziest one out of the
We did.
First.
And I would like to point out that I feel like this car wouldn't be so unstable because, I mean, there are RVs that are way bigger and bulkier and, you know, why didn't they move the wheels forward more?
It sounds like there's just a lot of design choices that went into this that weren't really thought through. What was Bucky's, what was he before he invented this?
He was some kind of engineer. Okay. I don't really remember exactly. Because
it's really surprising. Like, you would think an engineer would, understand, unless he was just so, I guess arrogant is, the best word I can think of. And I don't really mean that in, an asshole kind of way, but it sounds like he was so arrogant about his design. And also, I know, his design was changed when other people got involved, and it wasn't quite his original design. But, he was so arrogant about it. He was like, nothing needs to be fixed about this. Even though there are multiple faults with it that were documented, he was like, no, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
It's fine.
So I Googled it, and according to Wikipedia, so guys, take this with all the grains of salt. He was an American architect, system theorist, writer, designer, inventor, philosopher, and futurist. So he was just a creative mind, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you could definitely get the futurist vibes from the Dymaxion design. It's the whole time I was like, it's giving so much retrofuturism. Out the wazoo.
I mean, absolutely insane design.
Well, Emileigh, I see your 3 wheels.
Okay.
And I'm going to offer 2 wheels.
Okay.
With the Gyro-X.
Oh, that sounds cool as shit.
Yeah. So the Gyro-X, and I have pictures below my section, it was created by 2 men, Alex Tremullis and Thomas Summers. I don't have a whole lot of information about them, but Thomas Summers was an expert in gyroscopes, and it's hard for me to explain what a gyroscope is. I know what they are, but basically they are like a wheel.
Okay.
And the wheel spins and it creates centrifugal force or centripetal force, and it becomes very, very stable because it uses Newton's law of motions to be stable. It's used a lot in like navigation, and like when things need to be really, really stable, they'll use a gyroscope.
Okay.
And Thomas Summers, he would use gyroscopes to build missile navigation systems during World War II.
Yeah.
So he knew what they were. And so he got this idea for a vehicle after the war that would use a gyroscope to be stable and essentially make like a really retro futuristic, so 60s motorcycle car, for lack of a better way to phrase it. And he needed help creating like the actual design. So he paired up with this guy, Alex Tremullis. He was like a designer. And they worked together to create the Gyro-X. It was invented in 1967, and you can tell from the way
absolutely.
it looks. It's so 60s. And again, it's stabilized by a gyroscope. So in the and I think the wheel is like perpendicular to the road. Mm-hmm. I used to have a gyroscope when I was little, and I would play with it. And if you spin it fast enough, you can balance it on your finger, and you can like turn it any which way, and it'll stay upright against your finger. And so because of that principle, like a gyroscope can be kind of used as a perpetual motion machine. So once it starts, it doesn't really stop unless like enough friction. And so even though the machine had 2 wheels, with the gyroscope, it was pretty stable. Like it wouldn't tip over. Yeah. And their thinking with this Gyro-X is that it's a lot slimmer than a 4-wheeled car. It's a lot more efficient. It can be a lot more like fuel efficient, more efficient use of materials. You can fit more of them on the roads because they're so much smaller than a 4-wheel or a 4-wheel car or truck or whatever. And like it was small, it was light. It was essentially a motorcycle, but like fully encased. Right. It could reach up to 125 miles per hour with the Mini Coupe S engine they put in it.
Like confirmed 124? Holy shit. Hell no. No.
And it took turns really, really well. Like, you wouldn't expect that, but it could take, like, 40-degree turns without tipping.
What?
At, like, not at 125 miles per hour, but I think at, like, 90 miles per hour. Or even faster. It could take those crazy turns. Like, bank. It could fucking bank without tipping because of the gyroscope.
I love science.
I do, too. And one thought, they weren't able to get to this point, but one thought was that the gyroscope could eventually, when technology improved, could be used to store kinetic energy and therefore be used later. Kind of like what we think about hybrid cars now, where the battery like gets recharged with the engine. Like with the car moving, the battery's recharged, and then that energy is later put into the car when the engine's not on. And the reason I know all about that is because Kyle has a hybrid, and he's very like, look, the battery's charging even though the engine's not on. He's very excited about his hybrid.
Nice.
So they created their prototype, and they first debuted it at the 1967 New York International Auto Show. And it was like, people saw it got up to 125 miles per hour. I didn't see details, but it did have flaws. It did have issues with functioning. It wasn't a perfect machine. I think most of it had to do with the engine and like it just being on two wheels.
Right.
And probably at slower speeds, it may have been less stable.
Right.
So the company that they had aligned with, which I think was called Gyrodynamics Corporation, they had like an auto company below that, but that was the parent company that they were under. And the company that they were under went bankrupt before the design could be further workshopped, unfortunately. And so the company ended up just like putting it outside, and it sounded like there was some like legal things that were going on. And when Alex Tremellis heard that it was just being left outside to the elements, he was like, wait, like, no, you need to protect it. It'll fall apart. It'll be ruined if you just leave it outside. Like, if you just let me know, I could have done something with it. Like, I could have put it in a museum while we waited for all the court stuff to finish. Like, So, and I think that's the end of Alex's part in this story. Thomas Summers, he continued to hold on to his idea of the Gyro-X. So in 1975, he re-debuted it in California, but this time it had 3 wheels. And that was because in California, you could not have a motorcycle that weighed, like, there was a problem with, like, the weight.
Yeah.
And it just having 2 wheels, like, that was illegal. So he had to add a 3rd wheel. So in 1978, he renamed it the Gyro Glide. And he had his own magazine called Gyro Vehicles, a New Concept in Land Transportation.
Oh. He
was super into gyroscopes being used for transportation. Oh, here it is. Tremellis and Summers did continue, so I guess Tremellis stayed in the picture, just not as much, but they continued to have a lot of hope for the Gyro-X and just gyroscopic vehicles in general into the 80s. But it kind of went away for a little while, and then in 1994 it reappeared, and I couldn't really figure out what was going on. It sounded like because of an unpaid loan, it was given to this couple for this company. Like, this couple owned this company, and then they sold it to a man named John Needham. And by the time John Needham got it, it no longer had a gyroscope in it. It had a VW engine in it.
Oh.
So I guess in that 20 years, whoever had got it had taken out the gyroscope completely. So he bought it in 1994, and it just kind of hung out on his property. Because he had ideas to, like, try to restore it, but he just didn't really know where to begin. And he was just like, we'll deal with it later. Until 2009. So for, like, 15 years, he just hung on to it. And then he finally posted a video on YouTube that was like, hey, I have this weird car. What do I do with it? Like, how do I restore it? So he ended up selling it to a guy named Mark Brinker, who is like a collector that lived in Texas, and he held on to it. And then Mark Brinker ended up selling it to Jeff Lane in 2011. And Jeff Lane is the owner of the Lane Motor Museum right here in Nashville.
Right in Nashville. We should go.
We should. I see signs for it all the time, and I've never gone. Next time you're here, we should go.
Yes.
Because the Gyro-X is at the Lane Motor Museum.
Okay, we're going now.
Yeah. And there's a couple other vehicles that, like, it's full of, like, wacky, weird vehicles. Yeah. So we definitely need to go. So he bought it because he wanted to restore it to its original form.
Right.
But, again, there's no more gyroscope in it. And you can't just, like, make a gyroscope. Like, they're very, very complicated. Like, they don't seem very complicated, but they're very technical pieces. And there were no specs of the vehicle still existing, just like general design ideas.
Right.
But nothing about the size of the gyroscope, the diameter of it, or anything else. So he was just like, I don't know. So, he was told by a friend, like, hey, you should reach out to people who make yachts. Because really high-class yachts use gyroscopes to stay stable in open water. Like, when there's really yeah.
Huh.
Like, really expensive yachts. Like really, really high-class yachts. Because, again, gyroscopes are expensive. But, so, he reached out to some yacht companies, and an Italian yacht company named Impianti were like, yeah, we'll help you. And so they had one of their designers go out and build a new gyroscope for the Gyro-X.
Cool.
This sucker was 17 inches wide and weighed 230 pounds.
What the fuck?
Like, he literally had to basically rebuild the Gyro-X around this gyroscope. Like, the motor, everything else had to be built around this thing.
That's crazy.
But he did, and he also installed a computer system to help with, like, stabilization and controlling the gyroscope and other factors, because they didn't have computers in the 1960s just available like that. He spent $500,000 to rebuild this thing.
What?
Yeah. But it has been restored to its original glory. It's still at the Lane Motor Museum. So if you find yourself in Nashville and you really like cars, go check it out. And one other little fun fact.
Yes.
In 1967, it cost $750,000.
Huh?
Uh-huh. In today's money, that is $7,181,115.27. No wonder this company went bankrupt.
They have... Oh my god.
On a prototype.
That is so expensive for something that can only carry like one person.
Yeah. Because it's not big. It's really small. And it only has 2 wheels. I mean, it's snazzy looking. Like, there's a little... there's
snazzy.
This picture of it on the road next to, like, full-blown cars. It's so silly looking. It looks like you cut a car in half.
It looks like a cartoon.
It does. It really does. And I was looking at... Because it's got, like, these little, like, training wheels.
It does! It's so cute!
And I think it's to keep it from, like, completely tipping over, and it looks like there's different levels of wheels for, like, the intensity of the turn, possibly. So it doesn't, like, scrape the entire side of the car if you have a really big turn. But it looks like... It does. It looks like something you would find in, like, a superhero comic from, like, the 1940s.
Yeah, absolutely. Or I'm imagining, like, Tom and Jerry, if they cut a car in half and, like, we're driving half a car down the road.
Yeah, that's exactly what it looks like. Oh
my god, y'all. We are not describing this thing well, but please Google it.
Yes.
If you're safe.
Gyro-X.
Okay. You ready to take to the skies?
Let's take to the skies.
In the Goodyear Inflatoplane. Okay. So there's not a ton of information about this, but the design came from Goodyear, and the purpose was to provide a rubber inflatable airplane that could be folded up and dropped into, like, enemy lines as a rescue airplane. Literally, you could, like, I have pictures of it, like, folded up. You almost, like, wheel it around, like, in a little wheelbarrow. But you drop it, and, like, you inflate it, And then the idea was that if a pilot had gone down and they were still alive and they could be rescued, you could drop this box, this little package. He could inflate the plane and then fly to safety.
Okay.
And it was suited for both land and water. So, performance-wise, it was comparable to that of a J3 Cub. If you know airplanes, that will make sense to you. It could be inflated in 5 minutes using less air pressure than a car tire. And it had a 2-cycle 40 horsepower Neilson engine that had to be hand started. And it only held 20 gallons of fuel.
I mean, I kind of get, because if you're one, it
Yeah.
needs to not be too heavy, because the
Right.
person still needs to carry it, and two, like, it's just for a quick escape. It's not like
Right.
cross-continental flight.
Yeah, you're not going that far. You're just trying to get out of enemy lines. It had a range of 390 miles.
Okay.
And could fly for about 6.5 hours. And with a max weight of 240. Which honestly is heavier than I thought.
Yeah.
So
For an inflatable plane?
Airplane?
You know what? Mr. Bucky needed to use this design.
He did.
Like, if he'd figured out, because literally when you were talking about, like, inflatable plane, inflatable wings, I was imagining, like, from, like, a raft. Like, that would just, like, blow out and just be squishy with no frame, I guess, was what I was imagining.
Yeah, but no, this actually, like, you can see it in the air. I have a picture of it flying.
Yeah,
It had
it
a
looks
cruising
legit.
speed. Yeah, a cruising speed of 60 miles an hour. And it could take off in only 250 feet worth of sod, with 575 feet to clear a 50-foot obstacle. So really not that long of a distance.
Mm-hmm.
And it only needed 350 feet to land. It keeps saying sod, so I'm imagining like a field.
Yeah.
And could climb 550 feet per minute. It could go up to 10,000 feet.
It's still really high.
I'm impressed. All of this is very impressive.
Yeah.
They did make 12 of
Okay.
these planes. And they were designed and built in less than 12 weeks.
Holy shit.
Development, testing, and evaluation continued on through 1972. So we're talking the 70s again.
Mm-hmm.
I know I didn't say that in the beginning, but the project was canceled in 1973. So we had some tragedies happen.
Oh no.
So pilot he did live. He narrowly escaped in April of 1959. So they worked on these for a long time. But the plane crashed into a river during a test flight in Maryland. One of the wings collapsed and then hit the propeller.
Oh.
So he had to parachute out. So there were some design flaws. And then a couple months later, Army Lieutenant Malcolm Wallace, who was 26, was training on an inflatoplane, and it began to spiral out of control. A witness said, quote, "The engine sounded like it was going to conk out. Then the plane went into a spin and the left wing seemed to deflate. The pilot stayed in the plane for too long. When he jumped out, he didn't have enough room to parachute."
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah, so there were doubts. They did, obviously from 1959 to 1973, they did make these for a long time, even though they were developed very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
It
sounds like the final design is what was like the 12 and 12 weeks
used.
with
yes.
like years of prototypes.
Right. The inflatoplane was canceled pretty much because they kind of figured out helicopters were better. And they were like, you know, if a regular plane didn't survive behind enemy lines, what are the chances that like an inflatable plane would survive behind enemy lines?
Like, there's a possibility that you'll be shot at, and then what are you going to do?
You have a hole in your plane.
Rip through your inflatable plane that requires air pressure.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they were like, oh, we'll just use the helicopters. Out of the 12, 3 are still surviving today.
Okay.
And they are one of them is in the Franklin Institute in Philadelphia, and one of them is in the Smithsonian Institute in Washington, D.C.
Neat.
Yeah. They're really cool looking.
Yeah. And like, the idea sounds silly, like, especially with inflatable plane. It sounds very gimmicky, but I appreciate the idea of that, because it was very much, especially when you think about when it was first being designed in the 50s, right after World War II, right, and the amount of people that were caught behind enemy lines, they probably would have appreciated some kind of quick escape.
Yeah.
Because spoiler alert for my next episode, involved a lot of back and forth over the Pyrenees Mountains between France, and like helping downed fighter pilots and like the Allies to escape Nazi occupied France over the mountains.
Shit. Oh, I'm excited now.
Oh my god.
I don't know what this is about, so.
Oh my god, I can't wait. Oh,
listen, mine is going to be a lot of tea spilling, so.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah.
Mine.
This, it's a good idea.
Yeah. That's like, I can appreciate the idea behind it. It just sounds like inflatables and bullets in high altitudes. And I mean, there's so many things you have to consider too. Like, when you go up into the air, you don't have as much air pressure, and therefore, like, things can happen with the pressure inside the plane, and it's not really pressurized. It's just like canvas. Yeah. Around like a pretty flexible frame, clearly.
Yeah. I'm very impressed by how small it folds up.
Yeah, it's about the size of a person. Yeah. Like a person like curled up in a ball. That's about how big. Maybe a little bit bigger. Because I'm looking at this guy that's like kneeling next to it all folded up. And it's a full-ass plane.
It's a whole plane. Like, the bitch flies.
Yeah.
Incredible.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, we're going back down to Earth.
Okay.
And the cold snow with my next vehicle. It's a Rotary Snowplow.
Okay.
So, we're going back to the 1800s. Trains were all over the place. They're the next big thing. Trains. We gotta love them. But especially in like northern climates like Canada and like the northern US, when it snowed, you can't really drive your train through the snow. Like, it just, especially with like when it's feet and feet and feet of snow, that's bad. You can't. Yes. It just causes problems and up to derailment. So there were like, their solution at the time was wedge plows for the trains, but more like were they like cattle movers?
Yeah, like a I'm imagining just it's like a triangle.
Yeah, that's basically what they were,
and it cuts through the snow,
and that worked for like a little bit of snow. Like maybe a few inches, but when you got like feet of snow, it just didn't work, and it would kind of like compact the snow into itself. Right. And so what they ended up having to do is, when there was like feet and feet and feet of snow, they had to hire thousands of people, men, to literally dig out all the snow.
Oh God.
On the train tracks. And it was awful. Like, people died doing this. It was crazy. So, a man in the most unlikely of professions invented the rotary snowplow. His name was Dr. J.W. Elliott, and he was a dentist from Toronto.
Okay.
I know. I guess he just saw a problem. He was like, I have an idea. So he never invented it. It was just his design. But his design was that it was basically like, imagine a box fan. And you have the blades inside, and the blades would intake the snow, and then it would throw the snow out on the sides. And basically, like, chop it up and blow it out. And so that would create a path for the train to go through.
Right, you're digging through it. You're not trying to push it.
Right, you're chopping through the snow.
You're literally displacing it. You're putting it somewhere else.
Exactly.
Okay.
So he started going to people and was like, hey, I have this idea, but no one was really into the idea enough to, like, fund creating a prototype. So it just kind of...
They're like, we'd rather watch men die in the snow.
Right. Ugh. So, in 1884, y'all, this was a real person's name. And I cannot... His name was Orange Joel.
Orange Joe?
Orange Joel. Like the fruit orange.
I like him. That's my favorite color.
From Orangeville.
No shit. I'm Orange Joel from Orangeville.
I cannot. This was an actual human being's name.
No!
Orange Joel. From Orangeville, Ontario. Anyway.
Oh my god, that's just Orangeville, but with a country accent.
Orangel. 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 Anyway, he found Dr. Eliot's patents from 1869, and he was like, hey, this is a great idea. And he made a few improvements, mostly with, like, he added plates, added more of, like chambers that would help the snow get farther away from the train.
Okay.
As it chopped through. Improved upon the design. So he contacted these two brothers named Edward and Sam Leslie, and their machinists, had a machine shop in Toronto. And he was like, hey guys, I have this great idea. I want you to build this. And they're like, sounds good. And they built a prototype. It has a few names. I've seen Leslie type Rotary. I've seen Elliot Joel compound revolving snow shovel.
Okay.
But you basically, it's the rotary fits onto the front of a locomotive.
Okay.
And the train has to go at least 10 miles per hour. Probably you don't want to go much faster than that because you'll just like squish the train against miles and miles of snow. 16 kilometers per hour or about 10 miles per hour. And you just kind of cut through the snow with this rotary snowplow.
Oh.
And it was really effective. So effective that the Leslie brothers actually bought the design from Orange Joel. I cannot.
Mr. Orange.
Mr. Orange, I cannot.
that is the best and worst name I've ever heard.
Boy. Next time you guys have that game where it's like, what's the worst name you've ever heard of? Bring up Mr. Orange Joel. I'm sure he's a wonderful human being, but
I bet he is.
His first name's Orange. They created the Rotary Steam Shovel Manufacturing Company in New Jersey and then started producing multiple rotary snowplows or snow shovels or whatever. The Northern Pacific Railway was one of the first buyers, like corporate buyers of this rotary.
Oh, I bet they made bank.
Oh, I'm sure they did. This is still the design that's used today.
I mean, if it ain't broke.
This design is over 100 years old, and I even stumbled upon this little thing that said attempts have been made to improve upon the design, but there's not really much to improve. So and some plows that are still being used are 100 years old.
I believe it. They don't make things like they used to.
There's a plow that's used in North Dakota. It was built in 1925.
What?
And in the 60s, it was updated from like using steam power to electric power. It's still being used 100 years later.
Crap.
And I double checked, and the article I got this from was written in 2025.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah. And I've got, it's
good for them.
It's not the clearest picture. But if you look up Rotary Snowplough, like you'll see a bunch, and it's literally just like a big box fan on the front of a train.
That's awesome. What a simple, easy idea.
Yeah, and it's not really what you would expect. Like, when you think of snowplow, you think of some kind of wedge shape to cut through the snow. And, like, that's what they use in, like, not railways. Like, they use on roads and stuff. They'll use, like, even if it's not a wedge, it's, like, one slant. I think that's the more preferred plow nowadays. It's, like, one-sided, and it's, like, at an angle, and it just kind of pushes the snow into, like, the side. I don't know. We don't have snowplows down here.
I was about to say, not that we would know. I don't think. I think I've maybe seen 4 snowplows in my life. Yeah. So, are you ready to take to kind of the skies?
Kind of? Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't there for long. Yeah. The Caproni CA-60 airplane. So, there's a dude, Giovanni Battista Caproni. He was an Italian aviation pioneer. And he created the aircraft manufacturing company named Società Italiana Caproni.
Sounds good.
Cool. So, in 1908. So, he is a well-established aircraft person. He came up with this idea in the early 1900s to have a large flying boat, basically, that could carry 100 passengers transatlantic.
He was dreaming big.
He's a dreamer.
Like, they are literally just getting off the ground this year with the Wright brothers, which you should go back and listen to the Wright brothers episode.
Absolutely. Solid ass episode. Oh my God, it was so good. I was ready, put on the goggles. I was ready to get, I loved it. I loved it. So, imagine on the Wright brothers. I'm so glad you brought that up. Imagine the Wright brothers plane, but like on crack. So like 8 engines and 3 sets of triple wings. We're talking, it was basically 3 triplanes attached with a fuselage, 2 pontoons. It's humongous. The cockpit,
at the picture.
The cockpit was open to the elements, which was standard. Passengers would have to be seated in an enclosed cabin on wooden benches. 4 seats were provided in each compartment. Took about 18 months to construct. So it was released in 1921. Obviously as a prototype, guys.
Right.
Listen, this thing was like, my cousin and I figured it up. It was about the size of a football field, if that helps. Roughly. If that helps imagine, guys. I mean,
this thing is insane looking. It looks like something you'd find in like a steampunk fantasy world.
Yes, there's no way that this is a real picture, but I'll be damned it is. So they loaded this bitch down with sandbags to replicate the weight of about 60 passengers. It lifted off from a lake. How big is this lake? And reached around 60, 70 feet. It made a turn. Apparently the pilot lost control of the aircraft.
Oh, no.
The wingtip hit the surface of the water. Then it stalled and then crashed into the lake.
Oh, no.
It was quickly, like, they wrapped it up in ropes, pulled it up from sinking. They kept it from sinking and towed it to shore, where it sustained further damage. I mean, I actually forgot to put this in here because I was going to. So let me look this up real quick. I want to show you a picture of it crashed, because this bitch crumbled.
I mean, just looking at this picture of it intact in, like, modern day, it looks like it's made of toothpicks and dreams. Like,
it's holding on by Caproni's, like, hopes and prayers. It is, she ain't stable. Okay, I'm putting it below the other one.
Okay.
Here we go. She crumbled.
Oh my god.
She squished like a beer can.
Do you know if the pilot was okay?
They didn't make any note of anyone passing, so I think everybody was okay. I mean, the planes were not going that fast back then, and also they were only like 60, 70 feet off the ground, so chances are that they were okay.
Okay. It's like missing like the front third to half of the thing.
You couldn't pay me to get on this thing. No. It was never flown again. Apparently, different sources say that it crashed on its second flight. So I don't think this was its maiden flight. I do believe maybe they were like, okay, it flew the first time. Let's pretend there's people on it and fly it a second time.
Yeah.
It never flew again. They did take surviving parts, including the engine, control panel, some of the floats, and they put it in a museum. I think they are currently in a museum. I forgot to write down which one it is. I'm sure it's in Italy. But the Società Italiana Caprina company kept making successful aircrafts until 1950. So that's pretty good.
Yeah.
And then Caproni died in 1957. So, I mean, he had a successful airline company for a long time. This one was just, I think, a little too ambitious.
He thought of the Airbus like 110 years before the Airbus was invented. Good for him for having big dreams.
Good for him. He wanted you to get transatlantic faster.
Yes.
And I can appreciate that. I will not be going in the beer can.
No.
With 9 wings.
That's like a tall and skinny.
Y'all, I literally was just like, I want to talk about a plane, and was just flipping through pictures, and I saw this and was like, That's it? I don't know what the fuck that is.
It doesn't look like a real thing, honestly.
No.
Like, it looks fake. Legitimately. This is a behemoth.
There is... I don't even have words for this thing.
It looks so peaceful on the lake, though.
It just looks like it's, chilling there.
I assume this is the reconstruction, or like...
I think they took a black and white picture and put color to it.
Oh, okay.
Is from what I can tell.
Gotcha.
Because there are tons of just black and white photos of it, but I think it's a
colorized
altered
picture.
to have a colorized picture.
Gotcha.
It just seemed to be the one that showed the most details. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Well, I've got another inventor in Europe with big dreams.
Oh, I love it. I love to hear it.
So the next vehicle is the aerotrain.
Okay.
So when, again, we're talking about trains. When trains were first invented, they were the new fast way to travel. Because before that, it was horses or boats. Neither of which are, like, crazy fast. So trains, and you could travel across a country on a train.
Yes.
But then when the planes were invented, they're a lot faster of getting people from place to place. And
Right.
trains are like, hey, we need to like start literally catching up to planes.
That's rude. That was our job.
That was our job. So the focus in the railway became to create high-speed rail.
Right.
And the US, the United Kingdom, and France all separately were like brainstorming ways to create high-speed rail. Especially with like hover rails. Right. So having an air cushion in between the rail and the train. All three created like separate ideas for hover rails because it was a lot more efficient. It was cheaper, surprisingly, to build a hover rail than like, because you only have to have like one rail versus like 2 steel tracks.
That makes sense.
And it was better on the train overall because you don't have the friction of it moving on like a rail. It would be cushioned by air. So it's literally not encountering like friction against another material at all.
That's cool.
So there's a lot of ideas about the utility of hover rail. And this is like in the 50s and 60s and 70s when they're coming up with this. So a man named, I hope I'm pronouncing this right, Jean Bertin, he was a French person.
He was a dude.
He was a dude in France. He invented the aero train in the 1960s, and it had like an inverted T-shaped monorail, gas-powered turbines, and electric options for like suburban areas. So his idea was that in like for more long-term trips, it would be gas-powered. For like more intercity travel, it would be electric-powered. The gas power could get up to 430 kilometers per hour or 267 miles per hour.
Holy shit!
That sucker could fly.
Holy crap!
And the electric could get to 200 kilometers per hour or 124 miles per hour. So still like zipping along.
Wow.
His initial idea was for the aero train to get from Paris to Lyon. He also wanted it to link to airports and between airports because he saw a lot of utility in that. Yeah. I mean, big dreamer. And I think he had a lot of really, really good ideas.
He did, yeah.
So in 1971, the French government were like, okay, like we'll start setting up the monorail between, I'm gonna do my best, y'all. Cergy-Pontoise to La Défense.
Okay.
I don't know if that's right.
Sounds better than what I could do.
And they were smaller towns. This is kind of going to be like a test monorail to see how it worked before spending the big bucks to go to like major travel centers. So this monorail, it did cross the Seine River 3 times, and without stopping, a loop could be completed in 10 minutes. And this monorail was 22.9 kilometers or 14.2 miles long, and the train could go up to 180 kilometers per hour or 111 miles per hour.
Wow.
So it was fast. I mean, doing this whole 14-mile loop in 10 minutes, like that's pretty efficient.
Yeah.
And so things were underway. But Japan, meanwhile, was working on bettering the current light rail using already existing steel railway lines. And then the rail company in France was like took Japan's ideas and further improved, made way in implementing their own system called the TGV. And I couldn't find what TGV stood for. Maybe if I looked a little harder, I would. This article just kind of, the way it was written was like, you assume that you know what SNCF, which is the French rail company. I had to look that up. And TGV. I think TGV it's the type of train that was created, like a high-speed rail.
Oh, okay.
And I think it's still used in France today. But the SNCF was like developing using this high-speed rail with the existing rail lines. And hover trains were considered hypothetically to be cheaper and more efficient. But on the other hand, like, you already have all these existing rail lines.
Yeah.
That are already connecting all of these major cities. You can build onto the existing rail lines to go out further. You don't have to create an entirely separate track and using land and real estate to build a completely separate track. You already have stations built.
It does make sense.
It's more economical to use what's already there and just improve
faster.
upon it.
Way faster, too.
Right.
To get it implemented. Yeah.
It would take years to create a hover train system that would go all throughout France. Because you would have to completely build everything from scratch. Additionally, on top of all of this, in 1973, there was a huge oil crisis.
Oh.
And remember, the aerotrain is gas-powered.
Ah.
And even the electric train still had a combustion engine to create the air cushion for the hover system.
Right.
But the TGV was able to switch to completely electric. So
yeah.
So in 1974, the aerotrain had actually been approved to move forward with more production until a few weeks later when it was completely scrapped. And part of this, it's not 100% blamed on this, but primarily the cause of this, the president before this, his name was Georges Pompidou. I hope I'm saying that right. He was seen as like a president who was more willing to take risks. He was into like new technology, unconventional challenges. He died, and the new president named Valéry Giscard d'Estaing. Yeah. I don't know if that's right. He was more conservative and traditional. And he preferred more traditional technology.
Yeah.
And this is theorized, but maybe. His wife, the new president's wife, also belonged to the Schneider family, which is a steel manufacturer who produced steel rail lines. So maybe some stuff going on there.
Yeah.
It's a theory. Another thing is that the people in Cergy, I don't know. Cergy.
Yeah.
I think that's how you say it. They weren't super excited about the project to begin with, and then there was a lot of delays in the project. It started getting really expensive. And more people started moving into the town, and they were like, okay, we can't just wait for a new rail to be created to take us to all these other places. We can just attach our town to the existing rail line to get a train to take us where we need to go. So.
Got it. Yeah.
Just a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
The government did promise Bertine that an aerotrain would still be created to connect to the Marseille airport. It didn't say to or from where, or if it was one of the lines that would interconnect two airports. But they're like, we'll still do that. But then it was scratched too. And then this is really shitty, honestly. So Bertine tried to take his design to other countries like Mexico and different countries in South America and the United States. And he would go and meet with people to talk about his aerotrain idea. And then representatives from the SNFC, the French rail line, would come in after and be like, hey, actually don't go through with his idea. It's not a good idea.
Why would they do that?
They probably were trying to sell their train.
Oh my god.
That's so shitty, isn't it?
Shitty.
Feel so bad for him.
Oh.
He was so passionate about his aerotrain idea, and he just kept getting shit on, which is so sad.
He's just a dude that likes his train.
He loves his train. So he was so disheartened by everything, he eventually ended up stepping down. He was ahead of like several different companies, and he ended up stepping down. And at the age of 58, he died from cancer.
What the fuck?
I know, so sad. And then, in 1991, one of the prototypes of the aerotrain was destroyed in a fire.
No.
And in the following year, another prototype was purposefully set on fire.
Why?
No one fully knows, and no one knows who the arsonists were. But there is a theory, again, more of a conspiracy theory, that the arsonists were people who wanted this idea to completely die out because they are trying to eliminate competition. So
the dude's dead. Like,
well, they're saying that's like the hover train idea could still like be utilized. Again, this is a conspiracy theory, but one of the theories is that it's like the train lobby or whatever has like destroyed the prototype. And I think that was the last prototype of the aerotrain.
But aerotrains in other countries exist, right?
Well, not hover trains. And I'll get into like other trains that exist. Like maglev is becoming more of a thing that uses magnets, not an air cushion.
Yeah. Okay.
So really all that remains of the aerotrain are the test monorails that were built in different areas. All the prototypes were destroyed, unfortunately. But Bertin Technologies is still a successful company today. They develop products for energy, defense, and pharmaceutical corporations and companies. And to this day, hover trains still aren't really a thing. Most high-speed rail still uses steel rail lines, and maglev trains are getting a lot more traction, especially in like East Asia. But they have similar issues to the aerotrain, like with implementation, like building whole new tracks for this one train. And then just the amount of power that's needed. Like, you need a lot more power for the maglevs and the hover trains than you need for, like, electric trains. Right. Because you have to find a way to, like, get the thing to hover, which takes a lot of energy and stuff like that. So, that's the aerotrain. I have a picture of it it's not on its monorail, it's on the ground, but you can see its design there.
That's cool. That is so cool looking.
Yeah, and I think his idea had a lot of promise. It sounds like it was just sabotaged, and it was not. Maybe if like there was a way to implement it with existing rail lines, maybe it would have become a lot more widespread. But
not really. Yeah. Well, I'm going to talk about a train for my last one here.
Okay.
And it's the Flying Scotsman.
All right.
So there's nothing super duper weird or extraordinary about this, but it's just a famous ass train.
Okay.
And I liked it. So so it is one of the most famous steam locomotives on the planet, and it is still around today, so you can go visit it. But completed in 1923, it cost about 8,000 euros, and it was built by the London and Northeastern Railway. It's 97 tons, 70 feet in length. It is a steam locomotive.
Okay.
Just, nothing within its design is crazy, but it was not built in Scotland.
Oh.
It was built in Doncaster in the north of England, but they named it after the Flying Scotsman, which was the unofficial name of its famous flagship service, the Special Scotch Express, which was launched in 1862. So there's a couple really cool things about this, which makes it a very famous train. It is the only train that is referred to as a he instead of a she.
Oh, okay.
Except Thomas the Tank Engine.
You know what? I was just thinking, this train looks like Thomas the Tank Engine.
It does. It does. It's like not the same color scheme, but it's pretty much the same thing.
I mean, it's got like the circular like engine,
front
I guess.
part?
Yeah. The front
Yeah.
car engine, whatever. Circular, like Thomas the Tank Engine's got like the red bumper thing.
Yeah. Imagine if Thomas was green and didn't have that terrifying face on the front. So it was also in 1924, so just a year after it was developed, it was selected for the British Empire exhibition in Wembley. And this kind of really kickstarted its fame. And it broke records. So in 1928, it hauled the first nonstop run of a northbound train service. In 1934, it set the world steam speed record of 100 miles per hour. It was later beaten by a train called Papyrus.
Okay.
Who was they kept calling locomotives Loco. And I was like, you're cute. That's adorable. I don't know why I think that's cute. But it was a sister Loco.
Okay.
But it was beaten a year later by Papyrus. But still the first, world record. In Australia, it made the longest non-stop run by a steam locomotive at 422 miles in 1989.
I love how he's traveling all over the world.
Yeah. Speaking of travel, on the way back from Australia, the next year, so in 1990, it became the first steam locomotive to circumnavigate the globe on a ship. I love him.
Adorable. I love that.
Adorable. Also, I was doing this research earlier with my cousin here. She comes and hangs out with me a couple days a week because of reasons. And I read this and I literally could not stop laughing because we were listening to the same book for our book club. And there are spicy parts in this book, and I think my brain was just in the gutter, so let me read this to you. Quote, this is from the source that I got. It's not all been about piston pumping strength. Its vast steel circumferences, straining, hissing, and rippling bodywork, pouring with sweat, skirts trimmed with petticoats of steam. I feel like I've read this book. Like,
I was making a lot of faces during that description.
Yes, she was. Its vast steel circumferences, straining, hissing, and rippling bodywork, pouring with sweat. Skirts trimmed with petticoats of steam.
Wait, it said pouring with sweat?
Yes! Rippling bodywork, pouring with sweat. I was like, also, it's not all about the piston pumping strength, Morgan.
It's about the circumference.
It's about the skirts trimmed with petticoats of steam. The straining, hissing.
I think this person was really into trains.
Really, really into trains. Apparently whoever wrote this was a poet. So like,
okay.
Really into. I literally read it out loud and she was like, no, don't. Anyway, listen, another reason why I love this train. Oh, I got a good laugh out of that. So, in 1929, we're jumping all over the place, guys. Bear with me. So in 1929, it was actually in a movie in one of Britain's first talkies.
Okay.
Go back to that episode too. Which one was that? The
Is it Charlie Chaplin?
Charlie Chaplin. Yep, that's the one I was talking about. So it was in one of the Britain's first talkies named The Flying Scotsman. That's what the talkie was called. And the actress in that, Pauline Johnson, was actually allowed to do her own stunts. And she was like hanging out the side of this thing.
Oh, cool.
Which is crazy. And in the movie, The 39 Steps, the director Alfred Hitchcock gave it a very key role in this 1935 spy film. And apparently the spy in it flees assassins on board the train that the Flying Scotsman is pulling.
So not only is this train a world record breaker, not only has it circumnavigated the world.
Yes, it's a traveler. Yes.
It's a star. It's a movie star.
It's also the train from the first Harry Potter movie.
Wow.
Now, they did obviously make the Hogwarts Express for the second ones. I guess once it picked up, they got a bigger budget and made their own train. Yeah. But it is the train in the first Harry Potter movie.
That's cool. So it's a big star.
It's a big star.
It's basically the main character at this point.
Yes. So in the it is main character energy. I love him. I want to go see him. So obviously Great Britain was kind of modernizing in the 50s, and in 1962 was the Scotsman's last full year of service. Again, we're hopping around, but there was a kids program called Blue Peter in 1966, and apparently on this program, Blue Peter was like, they're going to scrap this train. And the children on the BBC network, everyone watching BBC, was so upset that thousands of kids wrote in protest and saved the train.
Aww.
I know.
You can't just throw away a star like that. No one puts baby in the corner.
Nobody puts baby Flying Scotsman in the corner. So it was purchased, rescued, restored by, quote, steam-loving businessmen. A couple different people, but
are they really loving the steam?
They are. What was it? They're really like the rippling bodywork pouring with sweat. They love it.
Skirts trimmed with petticoats of steam.
Yeah. They the vast steel circumferences straining and hissing. They love it.
I cannot.
So yeah, it's been through a couple hands, but it is now in a museum that you can see. Let's see. It is now on public show at Warner Brothers Studio Tour in London. So you can go see it there. Probably for the Harry Potter films. But yeah, he is a beautiful train.
Yes.
And he's a star. I love him.
I love him too. Not that much, but
No. Yeah.
Anyway,
I'm
kind of ending on a downer, y'all. I'm sorry I'm like this.
Oh, man.
I got the idea. I was like, oh, we're looking at planes, trains, automobiles. Why not look at like a boat or something?
Yeah, I like boats. Let's look at a boat.
This one's depressing. I'm sorry.
Oh, this is not a boat I'm gonna like?
No, it's not. I'm sorry.
It
It is more of a barge, if that helps. So we're gonna end. I don't know what I was thinking when I did this, but we're gonna end up with the Vernon Bain Correctional Center, which is a jail on a barge on the Hudson River.
Who thought of that?
The city of New York did. Mostly the mayor at the time
Ugh.
Was it Richard Koch?
Oh.
Something like that. So the Vernon Bain Correctional Center is 5 stories tall and 2 football fields long.
What?
Yeah. And
that
it has
huge.
It's huge. It has 800 beds in it. So the reason that they were wanting to create this jail, and this was built in like the 80s and 90s, and this wasn't the only floating jail, was that a lot of the correctional centers around New York especially were super overcrowded, at least operating at 110% occupancy.
Oh my God.
And they were like, okay, like we literally need somewhere else to hold people.
Right.
So they were like, how about boats? So the Vernon C. Bain specifically was created for this job. Like the other 4 ships that they had were like retrofitted from other purposes. Okay. But this one was created for this purpose. And it was built in New Orleans and then like shipped up to New York. Okay. It was the city's 5th largest and most expensive barge. That's a quote from citylimits.org.
Holy shit.
Inside the correctional center, it concluded 100 cells and dormitories for 700 people. Quote, a chapel, library, dining hall, and clinic, as well as a caged outdoor recreational area on its top deck. And that's from hnoc.org. It was, quote, 18 months after the scheduled delivery and $35 million over its original budget. The new cost of $161 million was due to unanticipated safety code violations and construction problems.
Yeah. What?
Yeah. And that quote's from citylimits.org. Yeah, it didn't start out as great. Yeah. It was named after a former warden at Rikers Island. And the people of New York considered it an, quote, unsightly financial boondoggle.
Boondoggle is such a good word.
I had to include this quote from hnoc.org because I was like, unsightly financial boondoggle is such a sentence.
It is such... I love it.
And it's unsightly. It
is an unsightly financial boondoggle, yes.
Yeah.
It looks awful.
It does. It looks terrible. So by the time it opened in February of 1992, there are a lot of mixed reactions, especially because overall arrests in the area had decreased.
Right.
Since it was first, like, pitched. Right. And actually, like, they're like, we don't even need to have this anymore. But the state of New York had spent $161 million on this thing. They were going to use it.
We're gonna use it now.
Yeah. And its purpose was to hold like intermediate and high security prisoners. And the way that this, I'm pretty sure it operated, maybe it was more so in the later years, it was more of like a jail while prisoners were waiting for their court dates. Like a holding facility, and then after their sentencing, they would be moved to like a prison.
Gotcha.
I don't know if that's how it started, but that's how it ended for sure.
Okay.
By the 2000s, the other 4 barges had closed down, so this is the only one left. Prisoners got 1 hour of recreation a day. The only other natural light they got came through their teeny tiny portholes in the cells. It was a hellhole inside. Yeah. Especially as time went on, because it was a running correctional facility for 30 years with like a 7 or 8 year break in the middle. There was rust, there was leaks, the power would go out because the wiring was shit. It was super overcrowded and extremely cramped. Like, it was literally, like, one quote from, might have been CBS, I don't remember which site I read this, but literally if your cellmate was snoring, you could smell their breath. That's how close you were to your cellmate. Like, literally, if you both sat up in your beds, your knees were touching. So they were squashed. No personal space or privacy. There was rodents. There was mold. No air conditioning. Like, it was horrid conditions, especially in its later years.
Yeah.
So the center ended up closing in the 1990s, briefly. Yeah. And then a few years later, in 1998, when Rudy Giuliani was mayor, it reopened as a juvenile justice center. And a lot of people are like, what the fuck do you mean you're going to open this boat as a juvenile justice center? And they're like, okay, like, calm down, everyone. So we're only going to do this for 18 months. It's not a long-term thing. There's just, like, in the 1990s, there was a huge crackdown in New York City with, like, the crackdown. And a lot of arrests, especially for young people. So there's a huge increase in arrests for, like, teenagers and even children. This Justice Center served kids from the age of 10 to 16. And they said that a child would not spend more than 10 days in the center. And $7 million will be allocated to help improve the heating, lighting, ventilation, and interior of the barge. So there was, like, renovations that were done to the cells and the recreational areas and all of that. But it was only open for, like, again, like 18 months. It closed as a juvenile center in 2000.
God, that's so much money.
I know, for 18 months. There, like, this boat is a money, not even a money pit, like a money hellhole. Like, I don't even know, a black hole of where money just went to go die. So it reopened a few years later as an adult jail facility for men. In the CBS article I read, which is linked in the show notes, Darren Mack, he has an advocacy group called Freedom Agenda. He called the center a, quote, modern-day slave ship.
Oh.
Most of the prisoners were Black and Latino men.
Oh. And
the CBS article noted, just within the past the prior 2 years to the article, which is in 2023, that in 2021, a man who was awaiting trial for like 2 years ended up developing a form of meningitis that was contracted from rats. And he died. Because if he had been treated, it was a treatable form of meningitis, but he started like having seizures. And he died a horrific death because the conditions were so bad in this place and he was not treated effectively. Like, if he
that poor guy
had been treated, he could have survived. And then the following year, a 44-year-old man committed suicide after jumping off the top of the ship.
Oof.
So, in 2023, it closed forever.
Thank God.
And I think it's still just sitting there. I think there's plans to take it apart, but I couldn't find anything about the steps being made. I think it's still just hanging out in the water to this day. It's a
very expensive eyesore.
Yeah, and this thing costs millions of dollars a year, too.
Oh,
like, this thing, again, was a black hole for money. So I think that's part of why it closed down. Another part is just that the living conditions were so horrendous. This was like a violation of human rights. Like, I got serious Brushy Mountain vibes from
oh my God, I was too. It also looked like a 4-year-old
like Lego. It looks like a
design
ship.
this on my yes.
Your son
I was thinking
would build.
Minecraft. Yeah. Yeah.
It's just squares and rectangles on a barge.
Random blue bits.
Yeah, and I saw something about like the scheme for the painting, and I was like, I don't get it, but okay. It was supposed to follow this like artistic design, and I was like, I'm not really getting that.
No.
So that's the I saw in one source it was called The Boat. Just The Boat.
The Boat.
So that's the Vernon Bain Correctional Center. Sorry to end it on a depressing note, you guys. It's just who I am as a person, apparently.
Well, we can go back and talk about skirts of steam and rippling bodywork if you want to bring it back up.
No, I'm okay.
This was such a fun episode.
Yeah, Emileigh, it was so funny. Emileigh texted me yesterday. She was like, Morgan, we need to do our bonus.
We forgot, guys. You almost didn't get a bonus until, you almost got a bonus late, guys. Because we forgot and we were like, totally gotta push the normal episodes.
Can't believe it's, as of recording, it's not yet May. And I'm like, what do you mean? It's almost May.
My personal busy season is coming up. Did I also sign my kids up for swim lessons in our busiest month? Yes.
Of course.
Of course I did. Why not? Am I dog sitting for 2 weeks? Yes, I am. So we have 3 dogs. Thankfully, one of them is a tiny little baby Chihuahua puppy, and she is the sweetest little thing ever. And I have to save her from the kids all the time because they just want to love her so much. And you could tell she's starting to shake, and I'm like, give me the dog, please. Leave her alone. Your love is stressing her. But yeah, so next month's gonna be a whirlwind, guys. We're doing our best over here. Yeah.
We're going to try to push through, get everything out on time.
Yeah. As of recording, my birthday is in 1 month, and I know that when my birthday hits, I can breathe again because May is almost over. So.
Yes. I think someone asked me how I'm doing, like, as far as work goes. It might have been Kyle. It might have been a colleague. I don't know. I am running on fumes at this point. I swear. I don't remember things day to day. And they're like, how are you doing? I was like, I've got so many things to do. I wrote down everything that I have to do between the date I did that in the beginning of the year. I have 14 reports to write in like 4 weeks. I've done 2. I did 2 last week. So that's where I'm at. I believe in you.
I believe in you. I feel that. I literally last week, I wrote down my to-do list. I had 12 things on my to-do list last week, which throughout the week, it kept growing. And then I wrote it down again. I marked off so much shit on my to-do list last week. I was like, hell yeah, I got it. We're so good. I wrote down my to-do list this week. Just as many, if not more things. No. I'm like, I did so much. What do you mean? What do you mean?
It just keeps going.
It just keeps going. And I was talking with someone today, and they're like, yeah, man, it's the busy season. And I was like, the busy season has been ongoing. And it is for the foreseeable future. I don't know what you mean by season. This is the year. Like, I don't know.
It's been crazy. I as someone who probably won't have to work in the summer, because I'm so ready for summer.
You to come to my house. I'm ready for you to come to my house. We drink a reasonable glass of wine after my children go to bed, and we laugh a lot.
Yes.
I'm ready. I am so ready. I miss you in person.
Yes.
I'm so ready for it. I want to be on my boat with my husband and my children and my besties, and I want to be in a bathing suit. I want to be warm.
I want that.
Yeah. I want to be in a
ready.
river, just
I'm ready.
floating. Yes.
So ready.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for listening to our another wacky episode of Crazy Vehicles. Thanks, Emileigh, for coming up with the idea.
Thank you. Hey, actually, this is kind of a spin on Chris again. I know we do remember you sent us a list, and we are now doing our best to get through it. But I was like, it'd be fun is if we not just talked about just vehicles, because he sent us any form of transportation. I was like, let's make it wacky.
Yeah.
We need wacky. Wacky is fun. This is great.
Yeah.
So thank you, Chris, for the inspiration.
Thank you so much, Chris. You're awesome.
We hope you liked it. If anybody wants to hear anything specific, let us know.
We are taking requests.
We are constantly. Please
give us ideas.
Please give us ideas. I know there's so much out there, but the brain power it takes to be like, what am I in the mood to cover? I literally, my next episode, I got inspiration while I was sitting at gymnastics for my daughter. She has gymnastics on Tuesdays, and I was sitting there and I overheard someone's conversation, and it brought up a topic that I thought about like almost a year and a half ago, and I was like, it was like an ethereal moment. I was like, oh, I have my topic. Thank you, universe. Oh my God.
No, I was procrastinating on my topics. I couldn't really think of anything that felt right. And I watched a documentary and I was like, ooh, okay, that's going to be my idea. And I downloaded a book on Kindle Unlimited and I was reading it, and I'm reading it for research. And I was like, shit, I'm not going to get this done in time. So I started researching another topic that's also really awesome. It's going to be my next one because I need more time.
Yeah.
And I was like, what am I going to do for my next topic? Like, I looked up a couple things and that I had written down, like, I have my own list of, like, ideas. And the first one, I couldn't find anything on. And I'd gotten it from, like, a drunk history episode, and I Googled it. The only thing that came up was that drunk history episode. So I was like, okay, not that one.
Yeah.
So I went to, like, a person on the list, and I was like, I don't even know who this person is. I wrote their name down, and I was like, wow, this is a bad ass person.
Hell yeah.
So
Hell yeah. Oh, I love that.
So I'm really excited. And actually, I was able to download a book about this person from Libby on my phone. So, and now that we have a little bit more time, I can read through this book and get more information. And I'm really excited.
Yes. I love when that happens. And you know what? I don't know if you feel this. I'm sure you do. You have to be in the right mood to cover something. Like, there's been so many times that I've actually waited a couple weeks just to cover a topic that I know I want to. It just doesn't feel right.
Right. Like, I'm not super motivated to cover it at that time, even though it's something I'm interested in.
Yeah.
It's gotta click.
Even like this, I was like, I don't know, am I in the mood for this? And then I got into it and I was like, these are nuts. Like, what is happening? Okay. Should we let these good people go?
Yes. Thank you for tuning in to another wacky bonus episode. We love you and we appreciate you.
Yeah, we love all the support. All the money we get goes back into the Patreon, back into the podcast.
Yes.
The pod. So any bit helps. It helps with our equipment and getting stickers and being able to
pays for all of our memberships to all the different things that we get for the podcast.
For the podcast, because you do need a lot of memberships for some reason. They will nickel and dime you to death. So we appreciate everything you do. And reach out if you have a topic.
Yes, please do. You can message us on Patreon, or you can send us an email. You guys know all that. So let us know.
And please just get a car with 4 wheels. Just 4.
Yeah.
because they're either unreliable or too expensive.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. The tried and true way is 4 wheels.
4. Absolutely. And if you have a plane, please don't make it inflatable.
And it just needs 2 wings. That's it. That's all it needs.
Not 9. For sure not 9. And please don't lust over trains. No train lusting. Please.
Keep that shit private.
Oh my god, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, bye.